that is a conducive democratic atmosphere where they can go on their business. So
Let me add a point to what you're saying.
Go ahead.
What a great point you're making. And just like he said, when you saw people standing in line for 10, 12 hours overnight just to have their say, that was one measure of how people took their idea of participation seriously. That was very commendable. Another part was what you alluded to, where a test of a system is how institutions build from the weaknesses, from the shortcomings, rather than destroying everything and starting anew. Because we've seen when we were young, it used to be revolutions, where everybody would say destroy everything and start everything anew, burn down and bring down all. That was, and to me, what was reported in the New York Times right after the election, a poll of what the journalist was going around. He asked some average everyday people, and the things they said impressed me much, and which goes to what you're saying. Some of them said, we know the weaknesses, we know the faults, but if we go and destroy, things will get any worse. So why don't we build on this and correct the mistakes as we build? This is a sign of a mature society that wants to build while correcting the shortcomings, rather than saying if it's not perfect, then when we burn down and start everything anew.
Well, I don't think we're asking of perfection. He who wears the shoes no wear a horse. There was no election in Nigeria. And illegality cannot produce anything meaningful in a society. That is a given fact. You cannot get a rogue government and expect it to provide these things you're talking about. Because they were not mandated by the people, they don't receive the people's mandate. They are not accountable to the people. It just akin the military regime. The military man gets there by his gun, his AK-14. You can't vote him out. Why is he going to be accountable to you?
In this our program, we allow everybody
view now, every
view to view. No, not every view. To talk as as much as you
exactly.
want. So what we are saying, nobody is condoning what happened or saying that there was free and fair election. We are talking about the attitude of the people to these atrocities that
I'm coming. I'm expressing my own. Everybody is entitled to his own opinion.
Sure.
I'm expressing my own views. But I don't like sitting. Well, not like you don't have to say what I like. Okay. But I don't like intellectuals hiding something that is crime, criminal thing, trying to baptize it, massage it. And I don't like.
Okay, make a case.
We are Africans. We are created by human beings. We shouldn't make people look at us as being inferior when we support what is wrong. So what I'm saying is that yes, Nigerian people have learned their lesson.
Okay.
You can understand that what took us through the Civil War was the elections of the 60s. You remember? You are aware when they were necktying people.
No, it wasn't the election.
It
wasn't
60s.
the election. It is the election
that brought the military.
Okay, that brought the
military.
Exactly.
I just don't want to get all out. That's why I jumped it. It was the election of the Western election that brought the military that led us to Civil War. And they were doing complete destruction. You and I know that. We're all going to burn when that thing happens. So this time around, Nigerians have learned their lesson. You go and burn down your hospital because election wasn't properly done. Tomorrow your father is sick. Where are you taking him to? So they know that. What they did this time around is that they went and felt disappointed. They went back home quietly because they have learned their lesson. Destroying things, burning things in a neighborhood because of a government policy does not help the community. Since you say we have not gotten to the tribunal, when we get to the tribunal, if you ask any Nigerian official, they say, oh, go to court. People don't go to court empty-handed. It's expensive. Anywhere, legal battle is very, very expensive. And unfortunately, we do not have too many articles who can fight the legal battle to anywhere or P2Bs. But let us just watch and see what the federal the tribunals will say.
Okay, that brings us again to talk about the tribunals, as you have mentioned their existence. Another Another thing, very, very important, that we should take note of is the attitude of the losers in Nigeria. I have praised the masses. Now the losers. If you watch the rallies and see the mammoth crowd in Atiku's rally and the mammoth crowd in Buhari's rally, that these, what I'm saying, these individuals can incite these people and Nigeria will be aflame.
I think.
But then you see, you understand what I say? But they did not. That's what the point I'm saying. But they did not. Rather, they resorted to seek dress in a constitutional manner, going to court. They could, even when Abubakar was said to have lost his vice president seat, you need to see when he arrived from Mecca, how the number of people that came to see him at the airport. So, but what I'm saying, Atiku Abubakar, yes, the person I'm talking about, who was the vice president, Obasanjo almost removed him, you know. But the court, here then we come to the tribunal, that there are landmark judgments being delivered by these judges in the tribunals and in the courts. The case of Abubakar is one. Obasanjo had everything to influence, but they said no. You cannot remove me as the vice president. As long as you are the president, still the president, you can't remove him. Two, that he has joined another political party is his choice. I mean, what I'm saying, to deliver such a judgment in the face of a president, a sitting president who wants his vice president out, is a mark of courage and justice and integrity. The election tribunals, look at what happened in Anambra. You mentioned it, Obi. Obi was returned. Andy Oba, who I know, I'm here in the United States, but I know he was handpicked. This is where I question the integrity of a leader. Why would you handpick somebody? And because you have the wherewithal to enforce his election. The court said no, we should be returned. Then you go to Rivers State. The one that perplexed me in the judgment of the Rivers State, where Amechi, who did not contest the election, was said to have won the election. Up to today, I'm not a lawyer, but up to today, it baffles me. But also, it shows how courageous, you know, the judges are and how the system is working. With this, don't we have future for peace in Nigeria, Mr. Vincent Rondo?
Let me.
Okay.
So he would.
Go
He would
on.
I think he misunderstood our point when
Who
he said
misunderstood?
he brother, because he thought we were sanitizing
No, yes.
and endorsing and saying it was wonderful, it was good.
No, I don't
That was
understand
not
that
the
one.
point. The point we were making was it would be great to have elections that are beyond reproach. That would be fair. That would have balance, like he said. That, and as you say, part of the corruption, mismanagement comes from accountability coming from these processes. However, what we're saying is, given the road Nigeria has come, this is only the third civilian government. That elections by themselves can't bring stability is seen by the civilian governments that were voted into power, where corruption, mismanagement, waste has been the cause for the military government. So election by itself is not a panacea. It is a process for making things right. So we're saying that the work of building Nigeria is done before and after the elections, when all these elites come in, understand the integrity of the state, addressing issues like citizenship, the definition of Nigeria, where you have, for instance, the area I come from, the Delta region, where you have discontent and violence causing up to 25% of the oil being disrupted. If these are not addressed, if embezzlement, if theft, and that is not addressed, this is what will destroy. They show Nigeria has gotten about $380 billion the last 30 years from oil. And in terms of the outcomes in development, in the life conditions, it hasn't translated. How do you make this political elites address these issues? And elections, yes, they are part of them, but it's better that we see at the larger part, and we can enumerate where the elections went wrong, but also praising some of the plus sides, being one instance, for instance, as Dr. Elagalam was saying, Obasanjo wanted another term. It was the courts that in the parliament. That's a big achievement, So looking at this, is there any reason to hope, or could Nigeria be submerged in its cycle of violence and corruption and mismanagement that will drown the country and the region as a whole? So I'm saying, let's look at the larger picture and see if we can hope from the larger issues, including and up to elections before and after. That's my point. Not to say that it's all wonderful.
No. I don't misunderstand you. I wasn't mad. The fact is that, like I said, that he knows me. That's my nature. If you start saying what I don't believe in, I start shouting, no. So anyway, Nigeria has a future. Nigerian cars have always been one of the best in the world. I can stand it. I'll prove it. We have, not too many people know today why we have private banks in Nigeria. I do believe that electing appointed people that rule a country is a very important thing, because they make the policy millions of people will follow. In the 60s, Tafawa Balewa refused that individuals or groups will never have a commercial bank. Chief Awolowo took him to court. Dodd Onyama, a Nigerian judge, ruled that banks are like other commercial enterprises. It's buy and sell. Therefore, individuals have the right to establish banks. That's how we had that. So, well, the only problem Nigerian courts have is at the prosecutorial level. Sometimes the prosecutors, the police present entirely a different thing before the judges. I respect Nigerian judges. Now, that's why I say that not too many Nigerians are Atiku or Obi who have the resources to get all their evidence, even here, where legal battles are very expensive. If you have the resources to dig out the truth, the judge sits like this, whatever